sukenneriti InuktiTube mo. Suvunyanu kalnerme ilinyanyarek ati. If you're a little short of time at the moment, this is the need to know slide. If you say blank lakbi, it means, are you going to blank at some point in the future? Blank laktunga, I will blank in the future. Aka, blank langitunga, I won't blank in the future. And some dialects will say, instead of langitunga, they will say aka, blank jangitunga. I won't. Two different ways to say won't depending on where you are in Nunavut. Shorter term, we have blank nyakpi. Are you going to blank later today? Blank nyakpi. Again, if you're in a different place in Nunavut, you would ask blank langavi. Are you going to blank later today? That's the difference between dialects. Everything else is the same. The concepts are the same. Blank nyaktunga. I will blank later today. Or if you're in Inuktitut, for example, blank langayunga. I will blank later today. Then our negative answers, aka or aga, blank nyangitunga. I won't blank later today. Or if you're in Inuktitut, aka blank langangitunga. Or another dialect or more emphatic version, aka blank jangitunga. That's what you need to know. Here are a little bit of the details to fill in our background knowledge. If looking at our timeline, this is how we talk and use time in Inuktitut. Blank lauksimayunga. I did something a long time ago. Blank lauksimayunga. Moving to the right. Blank lauktunga. I did something in the past. Blank kauyunga. I did something earlier today. Blank saktunga or blank rataktunga. I did something just now. That was last video. This video is talking about the future. Same pattern, idea, same concepts, different chunks, different word elements. For example, blank niarektunga. I am about to do something. Moving one to the right. Blank niaktunga or blank langayunga. Depending on where you are in Nunavut, you would use one of those to talk about the near future. Blank niaktunga. I'm going to do something later today. And talking about the general future, you say blank laktunga. Blank laktunga. Lak and lauk, general past and general future, are difficult to differentiate, understanding and speaking. So I like to say them slow and listen hard. Let's do some examples to understand how these work. We're going to go over our new pieces. So very basic, let's remind ourselves of the present, as usual. Nere, making a word, always takes a beginning, always takes an ending, just like a story. Nere, ve, nere, ve. Why is it V and not P? Because nere ends in a vowel. If it ended in a consonant, it would be P. So we would go, nere, ve. Are you eating? Are you eating? The answer, well, we simply swap out the ending to say, I am doing the eating. Just like usual, nere yunga. Yunga. We use the y sound because nere ends in a vowel. Nere yunga. I am eating. And if I'm not eating, well, we need a plot twist, our negation. And we throw in our ni. Ni. Nere ni. Tunga. I not eat. Eating, not I. Niringit tunga. Niringit tunga. Niringit tunga. I am not eating. That's what we know. Now let's get on to a little bit something that we don't know yet. Put our pieces back. Nere. What if I'm about to eat? Nere, nere, niale. About to eat. Nere niale, p. Nere niale, p, p. Why p? And we're going to add in p as well because I'm actually in right now. And everyone after a Q, if it ends in a Q, they say p. So nere niale, p. Nere niale, p. Again, same ending, means the same, just the way it welds together is slightly different. Priority two doesn't matter as much as knowing the pieces and putting them together in the right order. So niri, nialepe. Are you about to eat? The answer, niri nialep, niri nialep, I. Niri nialep, tunga. Just like our present tense example, we said niri vi, and the answer, someone says vi, pi, ki, is yunga, tunga, yunga, tunga. Niri nialep, pe. Mm, mm. Nere tunga. Yes, I am about to eat. Let me come over and eat some of your tuktu stew. All right. And what happens if it's not happening? What happens if it's not happening? Well, just like our present tense example, we just have to put in a plot twist. Plot twist. Depending on where you are, though, this is going to be slightly different, but again, the concepts are the same. The order of the chunks will remain the same. Aga or aga. Nere nialingi tunga. No, I am not about to eat. Nere nialingi tunga. Ni, not. Nere nialingi tunga. Now, if you happen to be in North Baffin area or Baffin Island in general, I think, I'm not an expert on dialects, we often say Johnny, Johnny. Well, let's actually make a new piece here because this is extremely common and fun. Johnny makes it sound very interesting. Johnny. And it makes it a little more emphatic, if you will. Aka, nearly Johnny. No, I am not about to eat. And we'll get this. The spelling's all similar because people get caught up on that. All right. So here we have nili nialete. Are you about to eat? Nili nialatunga. I am about to eat. Aka nili nialangitunga. I am not about to eat. Or more common where I have learned Inuktitut. Aka nili jangitunga. I am not about to eat. Another way of saying not that is just simply dialectical. All right, let's use the next one. And we're going to go a little faster this time since I'm sure we're starting to understand. Using nili. What happens if you're going to eat later today? Maybe dinner time. Nili nyapi. Nili nyapi. And it ends in a Q. It ends in a Q. In certain places in Nunavut, you would say nili nyapi. Nili nyap. Nili nyapi. Are you going to eat later? And if you are, you just keep the roots here, keep the start of the story, change the ending of the story. Nili nyak tunga. Nili nyak tunga. Nili nyak tunga. Yes, I am going to eat later. And if you're not, we're going to do something a little more fun. We go jangi, nili jangi tunga. Aka, nili jangi tunga. And you actually don't need the yellow, the setting here. Just a slight idiosyncrasy of this particular way of speaking. Nilijangi tuna. I am not going to eat. later. All right. Next one, last one that we're going to work on, add to our toolbox is nere la in the general future. Nere la, nere la, nere la, ends in a Q. So certain dialects will say nere la, Inuktitut, for example, would say nere la, Again, doesn't matter. Get the order of the chunks right, and the way they weld together will be understood. Are you going to eat sometime in the future? After tomorrow, probably is when this would imply. In nirela tunga. Yes, I am. Nirela tunga. Nirela tunga. Yes, I am going to eat. And if you're not, we're going to do the fun one again. Nere jangi tunga. Nere jangi tunga. Nere jangi tunga. No, I am not going to eat. Great. And now we're going to throw in our phrase making skills. What are we eating? What are we eating? So let's make some room for two things here. We're going to let's use nyak, meaning nili nyaktunga, later today. Nili nyakpe, nili nyakpe. Eat later today, are you? Are you eating later today? Nili nyakpe. Kisumi, kisumi. Kisu means what? We'll add kisu, meaning what? So here's our question. Kisu, meek, because we're talking about the kisu. So we'll say, I'll demonstrate in a moment. Kisumi nili niapi. What are you going to eat later today? Implied. Kisumi nili niapi. And you might be wondering, well, what is the meek? Why does the meek have to be there? And that's a good question. I get it all the time. This is what happens if the meek is not there. If kisu is not meek. If I say kisu niliniapi, what it sounds like, Mr. Kisu, are you going to eat? It sounds like you're addressing somebody named Kisu, which would be a funny name because it means what? It would be like one of those sketches, who's on first and what's on, I don't know. The reference is eluding me. Kisu niliniapi sounds like, Mr. Kisu, are you going to eat? So to make it the thing being eaten, we need meat. Kisu meat niliniapi. What are you going to eat? What is going to be eaten? I have that as an addendum here on the underneath. And the answer, kisumi niliniapi. Kisumi niliniapi. Well, so let's put our kisumi, let's put the phrase back properly. These are two separate words. Kisumi niliniapi. Well, we just take out the kisu, add what's being eaten. Nano, nano, nanomik. And who's doing the eating? Niliniapi. Are you going to eat? Nilinia tunga. Nilinia tunga. I am going to eat later today. What? What meek? What meek? Nano meek. Polar bear meek. Nano meek. Nilinia tunga. Yes, I am going to eat polar bear later today. But what happens if I'm not? Well, if I'm in Igloolik or Arctic Bay or Pond Inlet, here's what we might say if it's not going to happen later today. We throw in our Jangi.
Johnny. I really like saying this one. That's why I'm continuing to do these examples. Aka nanomik. Mik, something is happening to the bear. The bear is not doing something because it's been meeked. It is not the doer. It is the thing that is being done to. Nanomik nili jani dunga. No, I am not eating polar bear later. Although it is quite delicious if you boil it for about 5 hours. Fall off the bone roast beef. Very delicious. All right, let's review what we've done here, starting from the least complex and moving up. We said, number one, we said, nilivi, are you eating? And I niliyunga, I am eating. Or aka nilingitjunga, I am not eating. What happens if the near future, about to? Nilinyalakpi, nilinyalakpi, are you about to eat? Nilinyalakjunga, yes, I am about to eat. Aka nilinyalingitjunga, I am not about to eat. Or aka nilijangitjunga, I am not about to eat. How about later today? Nilinyakpe, nilinyakpe, are you going to eat later? Nilinyakjunga, yes, I am going to eat later. Nilijangitjunga. How about not? Aka nilijani, I am not going to eat later. Nilijani. And about tomorrow or some other time in the more distant future. Nililakpit. Nililakpit. Are you going to eat? Nililaktunga. I am going to eat. Nililaktunga. And if you're not, especially if you're on Baffin Island, Nilijangittunga. No, I am not going to eat. Nilijangi. Now let's make a phrase. The most complex things that we can do with this. Kisumi nilinyape. What are you going to eat later today? Kisu, meaning what, and mik, making it the thing that something is happening to it. It's no longer the doer of an action. It is something is happening to it. Kisumi nilinyape. What are you going to eat later today? We don't say e, do we? We say nanongmi nilinyaktunga. I am going to eat polar bear later today. And if you're not, you say nanongmik nilijangi. Nilijangi. That's how we use these pieces. I hope that this will help you practice and has given you some insight as to how to use these words.
So I've updated our table of what we know. In the settings, tenses, time, the yellow column, I added what we just practiced, the future, with nyale, about to, nyak or langa, which we use to talk about something happening later today, and la, which we use to talk about the general future. If we add everything that we know together to get how many words we can make over 2,000 words and over 10,000 phrases, just with what is on this chart, let alone with what else you know. I think we're making some progress. Wanting to, pigumanilme. Kingudlilme video mitao, kayusilusi.